Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all doing well, and I hope that you're all having a great week so far. So sorry it's taken me so long to post another video. I think it's been about 4 weeks now. If you didn't know, me and my family, we moved across Australia. So we sold our beautiful home in Brisbane and then travelled across Australia. 2 adults, 2 kids and a dog. He's the main reason for travelling over to Perth. So we have been here now. This is our 4th week. It's been a very busy time. So we had a lot of things that we unexpected things that we had to deal with regards to the furniture turning up late, and then a whole other drama with the furniture when it actually turned up. But yeah, we're through it now and we're settling in. We are absolutely loving being in Perth. It's amazing. It feels so good to be back. It actually feels like we've never left. But we're loving the area where we're living, and the boys have this is their 2nd week in school, so yeah, they're really settling in now. And yeah, we're just really settling into beach life. I see the sea every single day and it just really makes such a difference. It's amazing to see the ocean and to walk by it and to just see it from the house, which we're so lucky that we can say. I promised that I would show you my footage that I filmed as we travelled across Australia. It's not a lot because a lot of it is just driving. We said there's Travis's. We said that we'd give ourselves a whole week to travel across, and we actually did it in 4 days. My husband, bless him, did so much driving. I think it's around about 4,500 k's, and we did it in really good time. We actually did it in 4 days. So yeah, we just really had the mindset of get in the car every day and drive as much as we can. We did try to swap, but my husband's just such a more confident driver than I am. Obviously I can drive, but on the outback roads where there's road trains and animals and yeah, just going like at fast speeds all the time, yeah, I'm really not comfortable with that. So he did the majority of it actually. So I have filmed a lot of that, and we found some really nice accommodation, and we were so lucky to do that because it was over Easter as well. Yeah, and on the last day we were supposed to stay an extra night, and we just decided to make the trip straight up into Perth. We arrived here, I think it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and went straight to the house because we already had the keys, and just slept on air beds then for the next week. But yeah, it was just so lovely. So yeah, I'll put in all my clips that I've got now. After that, I've just been filming everything that we've been doing in Perth really, or what I can. So we went to Perth City for a day, and I'll show you some of the new house and how we've got it set up. And then yeah, my normal videos will return. I'm going to try and do some cooking videos, some weekly grocery or shopping hauls. And yeah, so I hope that you enjoy this video. Again, I'm so sorry it's took so long. Please feel free to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hello guys, so here is all the footage that I managed to film as we travel across Australia. This is our home in Brisbane. We actually sold it after living in Brisbane for 8 years. We chose to drive across to Perth due to us having a dog who's got quite a bit of anxiety, and the thought of putting him on a plane just really didn't resonate with us. We wanted to have a nice little family trip, and we thought what better way than to test out our car and pack it up and yeah, just make the trip. We gave ourselves a week to travel across to Perth. That's more than enough time. We actually only did it in 4 days, and we planned some stops along the way, one of them being Toowoomba. This would be like the first stop that we made. It's only about 2 hours away from Brisbane, and we'd all never been to Toowoomba, and it's so beautiful. It was really green and lots of rolling hills, and a good place to just stay and grab a cup of coffee and let Travis have a little walk, stretch our legs, pop to the toilet, and then we were back in the car, ready to head to our next destination, which would be St George. After our little stop in Toowoomba, which was absolutely perfect for what we needed, we got back in the car and headed straight towards St George. We thought this would be a great destination for our first night of stay. It was about 500 k's away from Brisbane, so stopping in Toowoomba after about an hour was just perfect, and then we made about a 4-hour drive all the way down to St George. St George was so lovely. We found a lovely little motel called the Riverland Inn. This was perfect for the night. It was lovely clean rooms. It was only $230 and they allowed Travis to stay. It was just perfect for what we needed and enabled us to get a really good night's sleep, ready to get up nice and early for the next day of travel. So day 2 we knew was going to be a really big day. We had a destination of Broken Hill. This would be a good gateway to then set us up to travel down to Ceduna for the next day. Broken Hill from St George is around about 1,000 kilometres away, and so we knew that we had to plan a few stops along the way. We found so many lovely little towns. Our first little stop was a place called Hebble, where we was able to fill up the car, get some really tasty toasties actually, and a nice cup of tea, and walk Travis, and then get back in the car and on the road again. One thing that is so strange when you're crossing Australia is the different time zones. I think we gained about half an hour here, and then we gained another hour further along as you're crossing from New South Wales into South Australia, and then South Australia into WA. So after many hours of driving, we are about to cross the South Australian border. Here you just need to check your car for any fresh fruit and vegetables, seeds and livestock. People do that for you. It's probably about a 5-minute process and only one person needs to get out of the car. So just really easy, and then we were on our way again. After leaving the quarantine station, there are so many places that you can just stop along the way. It's really easy. They're really well signposted. You can see them on the maps. We found a little place called Bork where we stopped and just walked Travis, had a cup of tea, went to the toilet and then back in the car again. And then roughly about another 250 kilometres down the road, we found a lovely place called Peterborough. This was so nice. We only planned to stop for 10 minutes, but I think we actually stopped for about an hour and a half. We took Travis on a lovely, lovely walk, admired all the lovely buildings, had some really nice lunch, lots of nice little quaint shops. I was quite surprised at all the road trains going through a tiny little village there. That's always really scary. But yeah, it looked like it had a lot of history and we would have loved to stay longer, but we just needed to get back on the road again. So after leaving Peterborough, we knew that Broken Hill would be our final destination for the night. The only problem we had in Broken Hill was the accommodation. Nowhere would take Travis, but thankfully we found a lovely little motel caravan park called the Stuart Motels, and they said they would take Travis. It was around about $230 for the night, and actually it turned out to be the best place that we stayed. It was so lovely and family friendly. We all had really good sleeps, and it was a really good place to set us up for the next day of a big travelling day. Day 3 is where we had a final destination of Ceduna. Ceduna is the last stop before the Nullarbor Desert, and we knew that we had to stay there. So from Broken Hill, it was around about 880 kilometres, so around about 8 hours of driving, and there's some amazing places to stop on the way. This is Port Augusta with the big windmills and wind turbines. They're absolutely amazing to see in real life, so big. We drove through this town as we wasn't feeling like we needed a stop yet, and then managed to find a lovely little place called Kimber, where we just stopped and freshened up before making the trip down to Ceduna. When we actually got to Ceduna, we were so lucky to find a room at the Ceduna Motor Inn. It was very basic, but did the job. It was what we needed, just to have a good night's sleep and then set off really early for a big day of driving the next day. Day 4, we knew was going to be a big one. We had a plan to get to Norseman, which was about 1,200 kilometres. It's where you cross the Nullarbor Desert. There's not really much to stop at in the way of hotels. So we knew that if we wanted to stop somewhere, we needed to get to Norseman. However, on this journey, there are so many beautiful places to stop and get coffee, lunch, anything that you want to eat. We were so surprised with all the variety of food that was available. The toilets were really nice and clean, and we was able to fill up the car so many times actually. Before making this trip, we had kind of plotted out where petrol stations would be. We did have a jerry can on board in the car just in case, but there were so many places to stop and fill up the car, and they were all around about the same kind of price as well. And I can say, actually, we've got a Kia Carnival, and it was so good and economical with the petrol. It was probably doing between 600 to 650 kilometres to a full tank, which was really good. So yeah, we filled up when we could and when we needed, and when we knew that the petrol stations weren't going to be too frequent. So if you are doing the trip across the Nullarbor, a great place to stop would be the Great Australian Bight. It's where you can see all the whales migrating. We've done it once before, so we didn't stop this time. But yeah, definitely a stop worthy along this road. Our next stop is the Nullarbor Roadhouse. This is a place that you have to come and stop if you come across the Nullarbor. It's got everything. I think you can actually stay here, but yeah, lots of different foods to eat, and it was all really nice and clean, and it seems to be the really popular stop with everybody making this trip. So after lots more hours of driving, we finally came up on the border of WA, which was so great to see. Again, they just stop you and ask you about fresh fruit and vegetables, seeds, things like that. Check your car over and then you're on your way. So the next place we stayed was a little town called Cocklebiddy. It again had a service station. We was able to fill up the car and have a drink and stretch our legs. They had these bald eagles here that they had rescued, which were pretty amazing to see. And then we were back on the road, ready to get to Norseman. So after another couple of hours of driving, we arrived at Norseman, which was a great place to stop and refresh. This was supposed to be our destination for day 4, but when we got there, after having a drink and food and Travis had had a walk, we was all just so excited to get to Perth that we made the decision to just carry on. It was about another 6 hours of driving, but we all felt great and we knew that we'd stop along the way. Also, the route that we'd be travelling would take us straight the way into Perth through Kalgoorlie and then straight into Perth. And here we are, guys. We made it to Perth. We are so happy to be here. This was our following morning. We woke up and went and had breakfast at Yanchep Beach, which is about 20 minutes away from us. It's the absolute perfect day. I think it was Easter Sunday when we arrived. So just really lovely. Yeah, so we're all loving it. I thought I'd give you a little view from our balcony and I will be back soon with another video. So I hope you've enjoyed and I'll see you all again soon.